Hey guys, your tech admin here, and today I wanted to talk about my old laptop collection. I actually have quite a few in my collection now, as you can see. And I haven't actually done a video with all of them in one video, so I thought I'd go ahead and do that since I haven't posted anything here recently. So, starting with the oldest here on the bottom right, this is my Toshiba Satellite Pro 2155 CDS. This is both my oldest and the first old laptop that I got. It was released somewhere around 1992 or 3. It originally shipped with Windows 3.1, and eventually I think there was support for Windows 95 on this platform. Just a quick look at it here. It's only got the track point, nice keyboard. Just look over it real quick. There is actually a CD-ROM drive. This is one of the first portable laptops with a CD-ROM drive built in, which was pretty neat at the time. Got PS2 serial and VGA out, as well as a proprietary dock connector. This is pretty neat. So this is just regular AC in because the power supply is actually built into the laptop, unlike most laptops that have a brick like that. This one just uses a standard power cable. And then we have a parallel printer port. Around this side we have a proprietary connector for the external floppy drive, as well as the power button on the side there. And we have PCMCIA slots here, 2 of them, and some audio ports and a volume dial. And on the front we just have a couple of indicators for the charger and the battery, as well as a reset switch there. Up next is my Toshiba Tecra 500 CS. This is a Windows 95 era laptop. Came out sometime around 95, I believe. And just a quick look at it, we actually have a built-in Win modem here on the side. This is a little latch to release the hard drive. On the back, again, we have a built-in power supply, so it just takes a regular power cable. VGA, serial, parallel. And in the back, we actually have an IR slot, or an IR sensor here. IR was a big thing in Windows 95, 98 eras. But it kind of died out because it wasn't that great. Parallel, plethora of audio ports here. And around this side, we have volume control, a fan there. This is actually the latch to release the drive that's in the machine. I'll go into more detail on that in a minute. But we have the power button here, a reset switch, this little guy here, which is yet again another proprietary port for an external floppy drive, or actually in this case just an external drive. And then up here, which is kind of stuck, I'm not going to force it, but this is 2 PCMCIA slots. And then in the front we have a CD-ROM drive in the machine, and I mentioned that switch earlier, so I'll go ahead and show you what that's for. In the front here we have this switch. If we push it over, we get this orange here, which means we can come around to the side, pop that out, and as I turn this, the CD drive pops out. So let me lay it flat so that I can actually grab it. So I'll go ahead and do that again. Turn that, and the CD drive pops right out, and you can pull it out and then swap it for a floppy drive. So you can have either the CD-ROM drive or the floppy drive in the machine, and then use the other as an external with that little connector on the side. So that's pretty neat. And then you just slot your drive back in like that, latch this, then click that in, and you're good to go. I'll carefully open this one up, and I say carefully because the latch on this machine is a bit broken. I've tried to super glue it back into place, but this plastic is just so brittle at this age that there's really not much you can do about it. And this one's the same way. These older laptops, the plastic just gets brittle, and you have to be extremely careful with them. Here we can actually see there's more cracking around the speaker grill. But we've got a contrast adjustment here. This one has an Intel Pentium processor. The 2155 CDS has an Intel 486DX. Got a nice track point just like the other one. 2 mouse buttons, and a pretty nice keyboard. Not bad. Next in line, we have my Toshiba 2100 CDS. And I actually haven't had this one very long. I got this one from work. It was going to be thrown away, and it was actually used as a dedicated laptop for some sort of medical equipment. You can see here something about newborn hearing. And I haven't actually been able to get the sticker completely off. You can see I've been trying, but it's really on there. But anyway, this is a Windows 98 era laptop, I believe, as far as I can tell. We'll just go ahead and go over the ports. On this side, we have some damage. That's because this thing was actually chained to the medical equipment with a Kensington lock. And the keys were, of course, long since lost. So I had to do what I could to get it out. And it resulted in a bit of case damage. But all things considered, it's not that bad. And then, of course, we have the power button here. PC slots inside. So there's a little switch down there at the bottom. I think that's for ejecting the CD drive out the front. But we've got a little flip out one modem here. These are pretty cool. They just flip out like that. And in the front we have the floppy disk drive there. Got some indicator lights. Around this side we've got volume control if my camera will focus. And then we've got some audio ports as well as the CD-ROM drive. So this one has both a CD-ROM and floppy drive built in. We've also got a contrast adjustment here for the screen. And this one actually has a single USB 1.0 port, which is actually really handy. And of course we've got a PS2 port there next to it. This one unfortunately is the first of my Toshiba laptops that doesn't have a built-in power supply, so it's external, much like most modern laptops these days. Got VGA and serial, cooling fan, and then parallel printer ports. That's pretty much it for the outside of it, so we'll open it up. Got two nice stereo speakers here. Track point, still the main input there. Two mouse buttons, and a not quite as clicky keyboard. It's okay, but it's very obviously rubber dome mushiness. And this is a Windows 98 era laptop again. I think this one actually has an AMD K6-2 processor in it. So this is the one of two laptops that I have that have an AMD processor, not an Intel processor. Next up is my Toshiba 4030 CDT, and we just look at the outside real quick. We've got the floppy drive there on the front in the same place as the previous. Slide this around to this side. We've got volume control and audio, and a CD-ROM drive. Again, this one has both, as well as a single USB 1.0 port and a PS2 port. Again, same spot. Again with the external power supply, VGA serial. This here will actually pop off, and underneath it is a proprietary connector for a docking station. And we've got a fan, IR again, and then parallel printer. And around this side we've got the power button, which is where Toshiba liked to put it on their earlier laptops, as you can tell. Two PC card slots, and another one of these little flip out one modems, which is still pretty cool. And that's pretty much it for the outside, so let's open it up. And one thing that's actually wrong with this laptop is the hinge is really loose. As you can see, it kind of floats around, and if I actually push it back far enough, it'll just drop. I've tried to take it apart and tighten the hinges, but it just seems that the springs are just worn out, so there's not much that can be done about it. This one actually has an Intel Celeron processor, and as you can see, it's Windows 98 error. And then we still have the track point. And again, this keyboard is much the same as the previous, very mushy, but we still have the stereo speakers, which is nice. The screen on this laptop is surprisingly thin for its age. Actually, pretty slick, as you can see. Anyway, on to the next one. Next up is my IBM ThinkPad 390X. This machine is in a very rough condition, and unfortunately that's just the way I received it. I actually did perform some minor repairs on it, but it's still in bad condition. Let's go around on the front. We don't have anything, as you can see, except for the latches for the lid, which the latches do work. I just have it unlatched so that I can open it with one hand. Swing it around here. Here we have a floppy drive and a CD-ROM drive hiding right there beneath it, which is cool. So we get both of them again. And we've got PC card slots and then audio inputs. Oh, I almost missed it, the modem there. Here in the back, we've got a PS2 port for mouse or keyboard, a parallel printer port, hard drive hides behind here. We've got serial, VGA, and then the the plug-in for the power adapter. As you can see, some of the damage that this machine has. You see these screws here. There's one there, there, and there. I actually put those in myself, and that was to kind of fix the hinges, because when I received the machine, the hinges were completely broken. So that's just a little bit of the work I did to try to fix it. Oh, and I just latched it. Now I'm going to have to unlatch it before I can open it. Anyway, along this side there used to be a door here. It is there no more. We've got a USB port, PS2 port. This is the power switch. We've got IR here, cooling vent, and this is where the battery used to be. I did not receive the battery with the laptop, so I've never had one. Alright, here we go. As you can see, the LCD screen is scratched there and there. The scratch goes all the way across. Again, that's just the way I received it. We've got I believe this is a contrast control for the screen. So, oh, excuse me, some LED indicator lights and the keyboard. The track point nub is there, and it is broken. I mean, the nub's missing itself, but the actual track point itself is broken as well. It doesn't work. Again, just the way I received it. Keyboard's pretty decent. IBM usually put pretty good keyboards on their early laptops. And we've got mouse buttons here with a center click and left and right. Overall, it's in rough condition, but it does still work. Next up is the only compact that I have in my collection. This is a compact Presario 1200. Here on the front, we just have some audio ports, which is actually a really handy spot to have them at. This is a laptop that, again, is in rough condition, but that's just the way I received it, so there's not much I can do about it. Under here is the hard drive, and then we have the CD-ROM drive here. Around back, we have the input for the power adapter, USB 1.0 port, Kensington lock, serial port, not one but two fans. Actually, I think one of them's fake, it looks like. Or maybe it's not, I don't know. But anyway, two exhaust ports at least. VGA, parallel printer, PS2, and another modem. Actually, not another modem, but the modem for this one. Around this side, we have PC card slots here. This little thing actually flips out, and that's how you eject them. And we've got another exhaust port and floppy drive. So this one does have both as well. And get it open. There's two latches on either side, but unfortunately the one on the left is broken, so only the one on the right actually latches. There you see the logo, keyboard, and this is the first of my laptops with a touchpad or trackpad, whatever you want to call it. You've got left and right click as well as scroll buttons here. And they've got some fancy specific buttons as well as volume control there. Pretty neat. This has an AMD processor, I believe. This is the other one with an AMD K62. Windows 98 era. Nothing too fancy, to be honest. So we will move on to the next one. Next up is my Gateway Solo 5300. This is the newest addition to my collection. So a quick look at here on the front, we don't have anything but some indicator lights, the latch, and the hard drive cover. On the left side, we have just the CD-ROM drive here. On the back, we've got a PS2 keyboard and mouse port, parallel printer port, composite out, which is the only machine that I have, I believe, with composite out. I don't know, my Dell may have it as well, but this one has composite out. This is a proprietary connector for the docking station. Serial, VGA, USB 1.1, and power. On the side, we've got some audio ports, Win modem, and then PC MCIA card slots. And this one actually has a RJ45 network jack, but unfortunately this machine actually wasn't equipped with it. This particular machine wasn't equipped with it, so while the port's there, it doesn't actually work. But there were models of this laptop that did actually have it, and it did work. We'll go ahead and open it up. It's got a nice big 4:3 aspect ratio screen. Got some indicators here at the top, the power button, keyboard. This is a much more modern looking keyboard compared to the other ones. The feel is pretty nice actually, it's quite clicky. And we've got a trackpad here, left and right mouse. It's got a microphone. There's those indicator lights and some nice stickers down here. I really like this white Windows 98 sticker. So obviously this is a Windows 98 era laptop with an Intel Pentium 3. Overall, it's actually one of my nicer, more modern old laptops. And finally, we come to my Dell D600. These things are tanks, and this is actually the newest laptop in my collection. I actually don't even really consider this one an old laptop. It's just, well, I guess it is old at this point, but it's not nearly as old as these other ones. And there's actually a dent in the case on the top. But anyway, on the front here, we just have some slots. I don't know if those are exhaust slots or speaker slots. I'm thinking speaker, but haven't actually confirmed that. On this side, we've got a Kensington lock and the DVD-ROM drive, and it is removable. Just gotta pull that out, and then you can pull the drive out like that. On the back, we've got two USB 2.0 ports, and this one actually does have S-video out. So this one has composite video out as well. We've got a modem, a network jack. The network jack does actually work on this one. Parallel printer, VGA, serial, input for the power adapter. On this side, we have a PC card slot as well as an infrared port there, 2 audio ports, and a Kensington lock to finish it off. At the top here, there's some indicator lights, and these actually show through when the machine is open, which is pretty neat. Here we've got volume control and some indicator lights with the power button. Keyboard with the track point included. Keyboard's pretty soft, typical Dell keyboard from early 2000s. And trackpad down here with its own set of buttons. These are the buttons for the track point. And yeah, this is my newest laptop. It's a Windows XP era laptop with an Intel Pentium M processor. Not the best processor, but the neat thing about this one is the battery does actually work, as you can see. So yeah, this laptop really not vintage or anything. Matter of fact, I'm actually thinking about using this laptop out in my garage as kind of like a workshop computer for when I need to look up parts or diagrams or things like that. This would actually be a really handy laptop for that, especially considering how tough these are. But yeah, there's a big overview of my my old laptop collection. If you liked the video, remember to give me a like. And in my next video, I think I'm going to actually go through one by one and try to boot each of these up just to see what's on them, because I really haven't messed around with them in a while. So I'm not exactly sure where they are as far as software is concerned. So yeah, in the next video, I'll just go one by one through all of them, boot them up, see what's on it. And then I've actually got another series of videos planned based around these laptops. So until next time, guys, take it easy.